Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do now that we've protected the server routes from unverified users is we're going to make it so that if an unverified user tries to log in, they're immediately shown a message saying, please verify your email first, and automatically logged out. So here's the strategy that we're going to use for this. There's two basic ways we could go about it that I can think of. The first way is to modify the protected route component that we've created so that it will give us the option of adding more criteria and more redirects. Okay, so that's one way to do it. And the other way to do it is once we log in, okay, when a user logs in, let's say, to have them first go to a page that makes sure the user is verified. Okay, it's literally just going to be kind of a blank page, nothing nothing too exciting here. It's going to check whether the user is verified, etc. If the user is not verified, then it's going to log them out and send them to another page that will say, nope, you can't do that. And finally, that will probably redirect them back to the login page until they verify their email. Okay, now probably the easiest way to do this is going to be to modify our protected route, although this other strategy that I just described here is definitely a possibility as well. But since we already have a protected route, why not do it? Essentially, what we're going to need to do here is modify our protected route component so that instead of just taking one can access property and one redirect to property, it can take multiple different situations, right? So what I'm picturing anyway is something like this, where we have a prop that's called redirect rules or something like that. And this prop would essentially take an array. Okay, so it would look like this. It would take an array of objects that would contain, a check property, something like that, which would be is logged in, for example. And it would also contain a property called redirect to, which would be the place to redirect the user if this check here failed. So that's essentially what we're going to have to do here. And this is going to get a little bit complicated, but it shouldn't be anything too difficult. So let's open up our protected route component, and we're going to remove can access and redirect to because we're going to refactor those into a single prop, as I said, called redirect rules. Okay, now by default, this will just be an empty array, I suppose. And here's how this is going to work. Our redirect rules are going to have a check property, which is just going to be a Boolean variable, and they're also going to have a redirect to property. So what we want to do here is find the first failing redirect rule and redirect the user to the route that's found on that rule. So here's what that's going to look like. We're going to say const matching rule equals redirect rules. Okay, there we go. And we're going to say dot find. Okay, find will automatically give us the first matching element. And we're going to find the first rule whose check property is false, right? So we'll say rule not rule.check, right? That's telling us to get the first rule whose check property is false. Cool, so now that we have a matching rule, what we're going to do is say if there is a matching rule, right? So if a matching rule exists, if nothing matched, right? If all of these rules were true, meaning that the user can access the route, then this if statement won't be executed. Okay, so if we had a matching rule, what we're going to do is redirect the user to the matching rules redirect to property. So matching rule.redirect to. Otherwise, what we're going to do, right, if everything passed, then there was no matching rule, we're just going to display a regular route component here. Okay, so here's what this is going to look like now that we've made those changes to protected route. I'm just going to make this change to one of our routes here, and we can just copy and paste it from there. This thing is getting a little bit cluttered anyway, to be honest. So here, let me just adjust the indentation so that we can read this without having to side scroll. There we go. Okay, so let's remove this can access thing and the redirect to login thing. And instead, we're going to say redirect rules equals, and here's going to be our array. The first rule is going to be the one that we just deleted. That's going to be check is logged in. And redirect to for this one is going to send the user back to the login page. Okay, and since we want the user to have to be verified as well, we're going to just have to create another isVerified property, or another isVerified variable here that will tell us whether the user is logged in or not. So here, let's say const isVerified. And actually, let's change this to is email verified just to be even more specific. And for this one, we're going to say user and user.email verified. And I'm not quite sure if this should be snake case. We'll have to take a look at this later. Actually, we can just say console log is logged in and take a look at this right now, or console log user rather. And here, I'll just leave that the way it is right now. So let's go back to our front end and take a look and see if it's underscore or if it's camel case. We're just going to open up the console here. We should be able to see the user. And sure enough, email verified is in camel case, just like we would expect. Cool. So let's go back into routes. Email verified, that should work just fine. So we're going to add this as a case now. We're going to say redirect rules, check. This is going to be is email verified. And redirect to, this is going to be, we're going to send them to a page here that'll say nope. You need to verify your email. In fact, we could probably just use the please verify page, at least temporarily. Cool, and that's what our new protected routes are going to look like, so hopefully this will work. I'm just going to copy and paste this for the rest of our routes here, so we'll get rid of the other protected route. There we go. Do the same thing again. I'm going to copy it, paste it, get rid of the other one, paste it again, and we're going to get rid of the other one, paste it, get rid of the other one. And how many more do we have? Okay, so for login page and create account page now, we're just going to have to rewrite these props here in the way that we did before. So to do that, I'm going to just indent this a little bit first. Is loading path, etc. Oops, there we go. Okay, and we're going to say redirect rules now equals, and inside here we'll say check. Not is logged in. If the user is logged in, then we want to redirect them to the notes page. So we'll say slash notes like that. And that's all the redirect rules that we need there, so we can even just get rid of the spacing for that. Cool, so let's just copy and paste this one for our create account page. We're going to go back down here, paste it, and there we go. So create account page. One thing that we are actually missing here is the path. I realized a little too late that I removed that from most of these, so we're just going to have to add that back. We'll say create account. We'll go back up here to these ones. And for our note sharing settings page, this one is going to be sharing settings / note ID. I believe that's what it is anyway. Let me just find that again. We'll say sharing settings. Yep, it looks like that's the right one. Cool, so what else do we have here? We have our note detail page. This one's just going to be /notes / note ID. Perfect. These don't need to be exact either, by the way. Let's get rid of that here. There we go. There we go. Okay, and next one up here is our notes page. The path for that one is /notes. Okay, and next one up here is our note detail page is owner. Oh, here, this should have been shared / note ID, I believe. Let me just check on that one. Shared / yep, that one's there too. So the next note detail page with is owner set to true, this should be /notes / note ID. And finally, our notes page, of course, is going to be /notes, and that one does have to be exact. We can remove exact from the note detail page here. And let's see if this thing works, right? I'm kind of nervous that I made some sort of mistake. So let's just see, first of all, if there's any syntax errors. Nope, doesn't look like it. And if we go back to our application now, let's try and log in with a user who is not verified. And first of all, I guess just notice that everything still works just like we wanted it to with a user that is verified. So let's log out here, try logging in with another user that isn't verified. So in fact, we can just log in with john@gmail.com, I suppose, since John isn't verified. And the password here is going to be like that. We're going to say login. And there we go. We see that we're on the please verify page. And that's about it. So one last thing that we're going to do, we need to actually forcefully log the user out when this kind of thing happens. So we are going to create a new page that will do that. We're going to say something like, here, let's go into our pages real quick. And we'll say new file. We're going to create a new page here, which we'll call something like not verified page.js. This is going to be super simple. We're just going to do the same thing as with our please verify email page. I'm just going to copy all of this, paste it in here. We'll change the name of the page to not verified page. And then what we're going to do is after a brief timeout, we're going to say sign out, right? So we're going to need to import that from Firebase auth up here. So sign out and get auth from Firebase auth. And down here, we're going to say sign out, get auth. And that should take care of logging our user out. And at that point, we don't even need to say history.push. We just need to sign the user out, and that'll automatically take care of it. So let's just change this heading now. We'll say something like, nope, you need to verify your email first. And then we'll remove just here. So we sent a verification code to your email address, blah, blah, blah. And that should take care of everything else. So let's just display this not verified page on its own route. We're going to open up routes.js. And inside here now, we're just going to add another route, which we'll call route. The path here is going to be not verified. And then in here, we'll say not verified page and display that just like that. Okay, and then we need to just add a closing tag here, so /route. We're just going to change the please verify here to not verified. We'll say not, or change please verify to not verified. Cool, so let's just go through all of these now. We're going to replace that one. We're going to replace that one. We're not going to replace that one because that's the actual route. And we're going to replace this one and this one and this one. Cool. So we've changed those routes. Let's see if this thing works again. We're going to go back here and try. Oh, not verified page is not defined. I wonder why that is. Let's see here. Looks like it wasn't actually imported for some reason. So let's say import not verified page from not verified page. We'll try that again. And there we go. Nope, you need to verify your email first. And we'll be logged out automatically after that point. Oh, and I guess we do need to send the user back to the login page since that route is available even when the user isn't auth, so that doesn't happen automatically. We'll just say history.push, send them back to the login page, and there we go. So 3, 2, 1, and there we go. We're back at the login page. Awesome. So it looks like everything is working now. So I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.